Michelle?
So now is 16:04 p.m. So our event is gonna start soon by Michelle to introduce about emotional intelligence masterclass. We're gonna have a 1 hour amazing journey to that. But before that, I want to have a quick introduce about myself and about Postive and what's gonna happen next. Is I'm Link. I'm a contributor of Postive community. And this place is our physical space of Postive. We provide this space for the people who are working here and have this common space to do some amazing, meaningful event to gathering people together to discussion about our life, the future, technology, everything. So, yeah, about today now we're in the healthy month. We're discussing a lot of topics related to health and longevity. So yeah, today is one of these amazing events. But yes, in July 16, if you have time, you should come to join our longevity community talk. It's the very first time we want to facilitate everyone to sharing their experience, how they keep healthy, what they're thinking about longevity, and to find a consensus between all of us. And if you are interested about Positive's future longevity-related event, you can join this WhatsApp group. If you have WhatsApp, and scan that QR code. Yeah, and I will leave the space to Michelle to start today's amazing journey. By the way, we're gonna sharing some hot tea with everyone for free. And we're gonna put it here later soon. And take care of yourself.
Thank you, Ling. What incredible space, hey? What have these guys done an incredible job providing all these incredible events for us and really looking after community. Thank you, Link. Thank you. I'll be there on the 16th for sure. What about you guys, huh? Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me. And so let's start. I love a good quality question. My podcast is called A Quality Question, A Quality Life. And the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves determine the quality of our life. So let's start with this one. Who here would like to know how to unlock your frustrating recurring life cycles by mastering your emotional intelligence to crack your freedom code? Yeah? 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 Okay, I'm in the right room? I'm in the right room. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, okay, let's start with a few fun facts. DNA, 1 gram holds 1 terabyte of information. Giving some quantifiable context to that, 1 terabyte is equal to 150,000 books in one library. We have 223 grams of DNA in our body. That's a lot of information that we store, yeah? Epigenetics, I'll be getting more into that as we go on, so just bear with me if you don't know that terminology as yet. We hand down memories through 14 generations. This is a peer-reviewed study. So it's a medical study that's shown that, again, we hold 14 generations of information in our DNA. And NASA have also done studies on the DNA. 13.5 billion years of knowledge, again, is held in our DNA. We are literally, and that's the universe, it's the age of the universe that's documented. We are literally a walking USB stick. And the information that determines that data in our DNA is our emotions, yeah? The amount of times I've heard people come to me over the years and said, Mish, why is the universe doing this to me? Why is this universe doing this to me? Here's the thing. We are the universe in a multiverse reality. If we break that word down, universe, singular, verse, vibration, frequency, you are the power. You are the power within. Everything has been here since the beginning of time. Energy is energy. Energy creates molecules. Molecules create cells. Cells create living organisms, such as humans, such as us, yeah? So when we understand that we are the universe and nothing is external from us, yeah, nothing. Life isn't happening to you. It isn't even happening for you. It's happening through you. And today is my intention is to share how to access that life force within you. Does that sound like a game plan? Sound like a game plan? Yeah, we're up for that? All right. So again, back to the quality question. Let's set an intention. The intention is so powerful. When we have a clear intention, what we are saying is that we have a North Star. We are saying that we are looking for an outcome, and the intention is like a magical, invisible wand. We've all heard the saying, I'm sure, where the focus goes, the energy flows, right? So if we set the intentionality for our time together here today, what is that reoccurring life cycle, pattern, behavior, or emotion that you would like to get insight into today? Yeah? I love that you got paper and pen. So if you've got it, if not, write it down, log it in the head. What is that reoccurring life cycle, pattern, behavior, or experience that you are wanting to get insight into today to crack your freedom code? Can you guys hear me okay? Kind of, sort of, maybe. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 2. Sort of, kind of? Yeah? Hello? All right, well, whilst we're working out tech as we go, I'll just keep going. Yeah, so that intentionality, that reoccurring life cycle, pattern, behavior, and emotion. How long have you been experiencing that pattern for? How long has that cycle been reoccurring in your life for? Yeah? How long's it been there? Again, just take that mental note or write it down if you have paper and pen. And who is the common denominator in each one of those reoccurring life cycles, pattern, behaviors, and emotions? Yeah, right, exactly. And the day I asked myself this question was the day my life changed. And when I looked myself deep in the eye and I was like, girl, who's the common denominator in these reoccurring cycles? Yeah, the dramas, the scenarios. And it was the day my life really started to change. It was when I really started to come into the full power of my ownership. Because when we blame anything external from us, we're entrapping ourselves. When we believe we're broken and there is something missing, we're entrapping ourselves. There is no mistake that we are all on this planet at this time, yeah? I came across this gentleman's work. Sorry, it's a little tricky, isn't it? Dr. Culfred Broderick. The transitional character. It's a person who in a single generation changes the entire course of a lineage, who somehow finds a way to metabolize the poison. Poison's a little strong for me, but hey, and refuses to pass it on to their children. They broke the mold. Their contribution to humanity is to filter out destructiveness of their own lineage so that generations downstream will have a supportive foundation upon which to build productive lives. Who here is ready to become a transitional character? By owning our cycles, to understand how to crack the freedom code, to set not only yourself free, but become the ripple effect for the transition and the healing on this planet. Transitional character, yeah? Yeah? So we've got about 60 to 90 minutes together today, guys. Some of you may have heard some of this information before. If that is the case, I'm going to invite you to return to beginner's mind. Welcome. And ask yourself, if I'm hearing this knowledge again, am I living this knowledge? We can know knowledge, we can hear information, but if I'm not living it, I don't actually know it. Knowing is the language of the soul. And when we are able to tap into that lived experience, we are actually embodied in this knowledge. A lot of us have done a lot of work, and I work with a lot of people who come to me going, Mish, the WTF moment, right? The WTF moment, the waking to freedom moment, I like to call it. It's like, I've done so much work, but why am I not transforming? How am I back here again? And I've changed the acronym HOW, Holy Ownership Within. Again, it's all within us. Greg Braden has got a phenomenal book, Pure Human. I highly recommend everyone has either, if you're Audible or read. And he speaks about how now science is showing us that the coding in our DNA is actually translating to the words within. It is all within us. You hold a superpower that I'm going to be hopefully being able to translate to you today in a way that leaves you walking with a little bit more insider knowledge. And power. Power is what we're here to wake up to. So again, if you're hearing knowledge for this knowledge again today, ask yourself the quality question. How am I being asked to apply this to my life in a deeper way? If you're hearing this knowledge for the first time, then my invitation is to stay open. And if you're sitting there sort of thinking, what's this crazy lady on about? I own my crazy, definitely crazy, definitely crazy. But my invitation is to stay open. I'm going to be building on a layered body of knowledge. So by the end of our time together today, it will make sense. We do have a Q&A at the end. I love connection, I love engagement. If I'm in a flow state, I might miss your question, but I will try to get, I'm always open to questions. If I miss it, there's a Q&A at the end that we can really connect into. Yeah? Yeah? Sound like a game plan? All right. So tell me, guys, how many of you have been told you must think positive and change your mindset to create the life that your heart desires? Yeah? How many times have you been told that? Think positive, yeah? What if I told you that information right there was contributing to a part of the recurring life cycle, pattern, behaviour and emotion that you're experiencing, yeah? Yeah? The National Science Foundation ran a study. Then they shared their findings showing that we have between 12 to 60,000 thoughts a day. 95% of those thoughts are the same thoughts we had the day before. 80% of those thoughts are negative, yeah? So what I have come to know over my 25 years of being a transformation and leadership coach is this, that our negative emotions are the activator of our potential, but nobody has taught us how to translate them, yeah? So every time we are told to think positive, we move away from and we are overriding, suppressing 80% of our untapped potential. So what I have come to know is that unless we address causative issue, I started off in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, and we always look at the causative issue. This is where it started for me 25 years ago. It's where life started to make sense, and I'm going to be tapping on a lot of that information today. But unless we address causative issue, we can use a hell of a lot of willpower, our energy to override, suppress, push through, yeah, to create the outcome that we desire. But what I also know through my personal experience and having journeyed with thousands of people is that at some point, whether it's next week, next year or 10 years' time, that cycle loops back around and booyah, we got another opportunity to really lean in to that activation of our potential, yeah? But again, nobody has taught us how to translate our negative emotions as the activator of our potential. So allow me just to quickly introduce myself. For those of you, I've had a quick chat to a few of you before we started. I'm Michelle Cannon. As I just shared, I'm a transformation leadership coach of 25 years. And the first half of my life, I had to believe I was either hexed or there was a master plan at play, right? For the sake of my sanity, I chose the master plan. And, over this 25 years, what I've been doing is collating and understanding all these pieces of the puzzle, yeah? Because, giving you a little bit of a background story, I came from a highly emotional, volatile, home, yeah? I left home and school when I was 14 years old. I went back to uni when I was 26 to find out I was actually dyslexic. I had no belief in my intelligence. In fact, I thought I was stupid. I knew I had the personality, and that's what I hid behind, was my personality. But behind closed doors, it was a pretty hard run. I then had a run of people in my life that I dearly loved who'd passed away. From finding my best girlfriend's baby passed from cot death, tried to revive him, couldn't bring him back. I found my partner hanging from a ceiling. Both my brothers passed from substance to escape their own pain. And then I found my beautiful mum. She had a heart attack in the spa bath. And they were the highlights. I then had a string of toxic relationships, mental, physical, spiritual. I would go from the highs and the lows in my career, from working with Virgin, designing innovative world-first templates, to being bottomed out and potless, right? So these highs and lows were extremes, just absolute extremes. So it's no surprise that it came to the point where I started to have physical and mental ailments, yeah? I broke out in cystic acne. At one stage, you couldn't even see my face. I have weight fluctuations. I would go up and down like a yo-yo. Gynae issues, you name it, it was all going on. And then I got to the point where I was in full-blown complex PTSD. housebound for 3 months at a time, bedridden depressions, and it was actually the complex PTSD that ended up being my greatest gift, yeah? And I'll be sharing with you why as we move through today. Then it came to the grand finale. The grand finale, which was my dad passing about 4 years ago. And he withdrew from our relationship, believing I was the worst person on the planet. The place that he got to, the resentment, the hate, the anger, the pain that he was in was pretty extensive. And again, he ended up giving me the greatest gift in his passing. I found out 3 months after he passed, and it was the lawyers who called me to tell me. And I was like, right, okay. And just to top that, he left all of his estate to a charity foundation, which is beautiful, but it was also a double barrel on the way out to say, you know what, there you go, girl. It's like, okay, all right. Now, 15 years later, I am married to the most beautiful man. We both came to our relationship with a lot of pain. Stefan, you're going to have to meet my husband when he comes. You threw me. Hubby, 15 years, both came to our relationship with a lot of pain. And the process I'm going to be showing you today is the very process that we've used and I've shared with thousands of people to break these generational traumas, yeah? So who's up for learning how to translate your negative challenges as the activator of your potential? Up for it? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So 3 key areas we're going to be covering. Am I in your way there? I feel like I'm sort of blocking you. Yeah? You okay? Stay there if you... I just want you to make sure you receive. Why emotional intelligence is our greatest superpower. Yeah? Harnessing the power of perception to master your life. And how to unlock reoccurring cycles to crack your freedom code. Yeah? So these are 3 that we're going to be really covering off on today. Yeah. Why is emotional intelligence your greatest superpower? What is emotional intelligence? This is my definition. It's taken me a lot of years to drill it down to this powerful, potent statement. The more potent we can get words, the more powerful they are. I don't know if you guys are aware, but when your intuition speaks to you, when your soul speaks to you, it will speak to you in one word and short, potent answers. And people always ask me, what's the difference between my intuition and the voice? The voice. And we're going to get into that. But the intuition is still, it's a knowing, it's powerful. Whereas the voice will be busy, it'll be sorry, how do I, what do I do, yeah? The more we can drill our words down as activators, because they're very powerful activators. So what is emotional intelligence? It's an intelligence that interacts between you and the world around you, a unified field. As you can see, everything is about the you. I will be speaking from the you, because you are so powerful. And when we understand this power of this energy field, and again, we're going to get deep into it, we understand its power. The unseen is so much more powerful than the seen. So what are emotions? What are they? This enigma that seems to consume us as a species, yeah? They're chemicals. 3 parts. I love a good trilogy. Love a good trilogy. Chemicals, known as the neurotransmitter or the neuropeptides. When unmetabolized, we store unresolved feelings in our body. When they are metabolized, we experience liberation. Intelligence. And this is the epigenetics aspect. It's an intelligence. And epigenetics was founded by a gentleman, Bruce Lipton. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Fantastic gentleman. He really challenged the medical science fraternity to bring us, to let us know that we're not slaves to our genetics or our programming. Intelligence, messages that deliver information to the cell, the receptors that determine the environment of the cell, therefore the behavior of the cell. So we have these chemicals going to the cells in the body. They then activate energy, which are emotions, the language we haven't been taught how to translate. And we wonder why people are walking around lost, confused, anxious and depressed and overwhelmed. Yeah? Our emotions are the language of the soul. And I've come to know this over translating them for myself, observing people in my clinical practice, working with beautiful crowds just like yourself, to come to this place to know that our emotions are energy. And when we know how to metabolize them, when we know how to process them, we are no longer stuck in that reoccurring cycle. And if 80% of our emotions are unmetabolized, and this is the interface between us and the world around us, is it any wonder we are experiencing extreme emotional disharmony on our planet right now? Yeah? Where there is amplification, there is this incredible opportunity for us to transform. But again, nobody has taught us how to translate. So we want to go straight to the transformation. We want to be free. Of course we all want to be free. But if we don't have, if nobody taught us how to read and write, we're determined illiterate, right? I'm dyslexic. And I didn't find that out till I went back to uni when I was 26 years old. I had no belief in my intelligence. But once I was taught how to harness my dyslexia, once I was taught how to translate my dyslexia as the highest form of intelligence, do you think I had a paradigm shift, perception shift? You bet I did. You bet I did. So if 80% of our emotions are unmetabolized, today we're going to learn how to metabolize them. Yeah? Yeah? Through this electromagnetic field, which is known as the torus field. Has anyone seen this field before? Yeah, beautiful. Love it. Anyone else? Yeah? Yeah? Great. Love that. This is the field that interacts between you and the world around you. And as you can see, the heart is the epicenter of your world. Our emotions are non-physical that have a huge impact on physical reality, manifestation. And this is how we manifest. It's through this field. You know when you walk in a room and someone is in a foul mood and they don't have to say a word and you're like, okay, I'll leave you with that. Exit stage left, right? Yeah? This is the energy field that we're picking up on. This is the power of you. This energy field can be picked up on the other side of the planet in the quantum field in milliseconds. If you are holding 80% of negative energy in your body, this field is also an attraction field. It's also an attraction field. So are we creating our life by design or by default? Those reoccurring cycles, patterns, behaviors, and emotions are by default because nobody's taught us how to read and write our emotions, emotional intelligence. So this is the field of energy that interacts between you and the world around you. You are so powerful beyond our imagination right now. I really believe that. This electromagnetic field is 60 times greater in amplitude than our brains. Our hearts rule our brain. They have now found in our heart that we have 40,000 sensory neurites which hold memory, right? Which is greater than the brain. What we are now doing is starting to understand the power of the heart's intelligence. And again, I'll be getting to that as we build on the knowledge today. How you doing? Everything making sense so far? Any questions? No. Boom. All right. I started off as a TCM practitioner, as I was sharing with you before. And I also noticed in TCM, a lot of the teachings around negative emotions. I'm like, where's the contrast to that? Everything in Chinese medicine has a yin and yang aspect. But we weren't taught about, and again, I don't do positive and negative because we have such an association to both. Positive emotions, negative emotions, yeah? What we end up doing is exactly what I'm going to show you here, is we end up polarizing in the pursuit of seeking one and avoiding the other, yeah? So we polarize our life. We have these, and then that ends up in cognitive dissonance, what we call in a term cognitive dissonance, where we have two paradigms running at the same time, which makes it very hard for us to come into alignment to take action if we are cycling in these polarized states, yeah? What we are being asked to do is to lean into these negative emotions, these activators of potential, to unlock these reoccurring life cycles, patterns, behaviors, and emotions, to bring ourselves back into this unity consciousness so that we can experience flow, a natural state of flow, yeah? We have polarized and disassociated our fundamental principles of energy, yin and yang. We cannot have light without dark, and we cannot have dark without light. It's impossible. And there's a little bit of both in each. But it's our perception, it's our association to these experiences that determines whether we are in a flow state or whether we are stuck in that loop of limitation, because it's asking for us to come into liberation. And the place it starts with is you. Is you. Yeah? Making sense? Yeah? So when we come into that state, we can consciously respond versus unconsciously react. We can transform challenging relationships, yeah? Challenges are the activator of our potential. We can become resourceful in times of stress. We no longer go into the overwhelm, because the overwhelm is calling us into overflow. When we come into overwhelm, what it's saying to us is that we're being asked to look at what is going on. We're asked to look at, assess, is there too much on our plate? Are we asking are we exceeding our own capacity versus the demand that we are taking on? And there's also the upgrade. You know, when you lean into an experience and go, right, I'm taking this on, I'm going through. And what tends to happen is that all the old stories, all those old beliefs, all those old paradigms start to bubble to the top. But when we know our anchor, when we know the power of the presence in our embodiment experience, we are able to plug into an infinite source energy that allows us to be so resourceful that we access absolute abundance at any given time, no matter what the challenge. I can promise you that. You've heard a little bit of my story, and I know this to be fact from lived experience. Navigating change with clarity. We don't like change as humans. We don't like it. We don't like it. We prefer to stay in the known pain because it's safe there, perceptionary-wise, yeah? Everything in us wants it. But here's what I've come to know about change. Just like the caterpillar, it goes through a cycle, 5 phases of a transformational cycle, which I'm going to be showing you. It expands, it drops its skin, it expands, it drops its skin, it expands, drops its skin, it goes into its own shit, into the chrysalis, to push out, to fly free as that beautiful butterfly, yeah? But the one thing that did not change from that caterpillar to the butterfly as it went through that metamorphosis and its physiological metamorphosis, the one thing that didn't change was its soul, yeah? Its soul did not change, it was the same soul. And this is what happens for us. When we go through these upgrades, we are shedding old skin. We are shedding generations of 14 generations of belief, epigenetic belief systems. When we are able to understand that change is an illusion and we are returning home to the unchanging, unwavering part of who we truly are, which is pure love. This physical form is 99.999% space. We are love. We are beings of love. Bruce Lipton, I don't know if you guys have heard, the people that know of Bruce Lipton, he did a clinical study testing the subconscious mind, asking people to say, I love you, meaning self-love. 95% of people had no recognition of those words at that epigenetic level. What that means is 95% of humanity is walking around not knowing, 1, who they are, and 2, our superpower. Yeah? We are returning home to the unwavering, unchanging part of who we are. Beings of love and light. That is our superpower. That is our superpower. We can't be in growth and protection at the same time. It's physiologically impossible. And 95% of us, 80 to 95% of us, are in protection, yeah? So when we open ourselves to this change, we navigate it with ease. We navigate it with flow. We navigate it with grace. And then we embrace failures as opportunity for growth. Failure is nothing more than feedback. Nothing more than feedback. But again, we have not been taught how to translate it. This is the ultimate place of self-regulation. When we come into self-regulation, we come into co-relation, yeah? It is very hard for us to sustain a co-relating relationship with another if we can't self-regulate, if we're not in ownership of our own experience. It makes it pretty damn hard, yeah? Would you agree with that? Yeah? Your perception, my perception, and the truth of what actually happened, yeah? And this is something my husband and I have worked damn hard at to master, right? We're like, all right, take five. What just happened for you? What just happened for me? And what actually just happened? This is the power of perception. The power of perception. So beautiful people, question. You'll get to know that I love quality questions because it's you empowering yourself. It's not me telling you, yeah? What is your relationship to emotional pain and fear? Anyone willing to share that with me? Yeah. Back in the box. Yeah, I love it. Yep. in the archives. Off you go. Off you pop. Love it. Anyone else? Relationship to emotional pain and fear. Do you know? Yeah. Okay, love that. Yeah, love that. Beautiful. Anyone else? Emotional pain and fear. Yeah.
Changed a lot after practicing mindfulness and meditation and understanding the nature of pain and fear.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's like something like normal.
Yeah.
So I would say now it's a good relation.
Fantastic. I love that. More of that, yeah.
Emotional pain, I feel like I've been responding to it with creative expression.
Yeah.
Like get it out, journal about it, write
Yeah.
a poem,
Yep.
draw something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then fear's been an interesting one. It's I've learned that so many times fear is like a sign, like this way to your higher self. This way.
I love that.
So I
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
towards my fear.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
I mean, I was going to say avoidant, so.
Yeah. 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 When I do this one online, so I do some emotion intelligence masterclass online, and I have hundreds of people turn up, and there's a variant. There's a variant of relationship to pain and fear. But my invitation is to really sit with it, to invite it in as the activator of our potential. Pain is the activator of our potential. Fear is the activator of our freedom. Yeah? Did you want to say something? Yeah? Okay, just processing. Got it. Boy, I love it. I love it. I love it. Got it. Got it. Got it. I love it. Yeah. So when we can show.
So put it in the box. I have started trying to go towards it, but I think I go towards it still from that place of like, it's in the box.
Yeah.
I will arm it against it. I'm going to walk towards whatever it is and try and deal with it, but I'm not actually feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah, powerful. And we're going to do a sense. I love that. Yeah. And that's ownership, right? That's observation. 100% human. 100% human. Even with all these years of practice, sometimes I've got to be reminded myself. It's like, okay, I love you, pain. I love you, fear. What have you got for me? So every time pain comes into my life now, I humble myself at its feet like a wise sage master. What is the gift that you have for me? What is the gift you have for me? And when I can be with this part of myself, when I can call it in like an old friend and sit down and have a cup of tea with it, let's have a chat. You and me, let's have a chat. And when we can learn to be uncomfortable, when we can learn to be comfortable with that uncomfortability, especially when our nervous system is going through that upgrade, it feels like a rocket ship that's like going, the anxiety is an upgrade of your central nervous system. That's all it is. And we're told it's wrong, it's bad, so we suppress it, we put it away, there's something wrong with us, we're broken. Your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do based on your programming. And again, I'll get into that very soon. So my invitation is to get really clear on what this relationship is when pain and fear turns up for you, so that you can be with it versus move away from it. Survival mechanism. Because this is where we move away from. Yeah, we polarize, we go away from, and we've got beautiful people in here that have conscious practices, which I love, absolutely love. More conscious practice. Conscious fitness, I like to call it. Conscious fitness. Any questions on that so far? Anyone want to share anything? Any personal experiences that you're willing to share? It's going from there. Yeah? All right. So harnessing the power of perception to master your life. The power of perception is a pretty big one, yeah? There was the night that I was driving home and I was in full-blown complex PTSD. I wasn't really sure what was going on at this point. I just knew that there was something pretty not right going on with me. I looked in the rear vision mirror and I saw a blanket in the back of the car through my rear vision mirror, and I thought it was someone had passed out. Everything in me wanted to pull that car over to give that blanket mouth-to-mouth, to CPR. And I had to ask myself, what is it in me right now that wants me to believe something that's not true? It was one of the most powerful questions I ever asked myself because it led me to understand the power of perception. So, as you can see here, there's one external event. We have a mechanism in our brain that will delete and distort information based on your programming, based on whatever is on that hard drive, from this life, from 14 generations passed down through you. We have the ability to distort our reality. Just like that night in the car. How did that blanket look like? Well, to be honest, it looked like a dead body to me. Yeah? And so what happens is that internal representation happens, goes through an unconscious and conscious filter that then goes into an internal representation, creates a state, and then it comes out as a behavior. Yeah? So what happens? I keep forgetting this is a new... So what... Can you see that with the light? I don't think you can. Anyway. So it comes out as a behavior. As humans, we get so focused on the behavior. It is never about the behavior. It's about what's driving the behavior. It starts at that sensory perception level. And when we are able to intercept that with the power of non-biased observation to observe, to witness our experience, we shift this whole pathway. Perception rules our physiology. Perception rules our behavior. But we are continually looking at our behavior and we're missing the whole back path to it. It starts here. It starts here. Your experience, my experience. What am I perceiving? What are you perceiving? What's actually happening? Multiverse, reality, universe. And when we understand this, it is so empowering. It's such a deep, deep level. Perception rules your life. That's it. That's the mastery at the end of the day. That's it. That simple and that hard, right? That simple and that hard. But we make it hard. We make it hard because we've never been empowered and taught these skills to be able to translate our human experience. So as you can see, it comes in through the optical nerve. It goes out to the optical, so we observe through the eye, it goes out to the optical nerve and it comes back to the amygdala. That little button there right in the midbrain there, the red, what you want to call it red, is once I understood, yeah? Yeah.
I was going to ask, what is the meta program?
What is the...
Meta program.
We have what's known as a meta-consciousness. It's a big topic, but basically we are the only beings that can think about being human beings. A tree doesn't think about being a tree. It knows it's an oak tree. We're like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going? What am I supposed to do? Am I this? Am I that? Or who are you? What is that? So we have this consciousness that is in cognitive dissonance, right? But what we are here to do is empower it. It's a higher truth. Deepak Chopra has a great book on meta-consciousness. Great book to go and read to understand it. But we have a higher consciousness and we have an embodied consciousness, a physical embodiment consciousness. They're polarized right now, which is why we have these two realities that are continually clashing and we default. We're defaulting. But when we understand our higher consciousness, I remember as a kid, the most classic example I can give you of this is when I was a kid, I was looking at myself in the mirror crying, I was having a tantrum. I remember it so vividly. I was like, ah! And the more I was throwing this tantrum, the more I was observing what was in that image. And I remember as a kid looking behind the mirror to see what was actually looking back at me. It's a form of meta-consciousness because we can observe ourselves observing our reality. Yeah? Very powerful. When I got this, I've done 5 or 6 Vipassanas, yeah? Very powerful very powerful, beautiful practice to go and understand the power of observation. Does that answer your question, sweetheart? Yeah? Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big Yeah, Deepak's got a great book on it, literally meta-consciousness, yeah? Yeah, is that too much? The sun? Yeah.
You mentioned passion, so I'm guessing that meditation is taking us towards that meta-consciousness ability. And that meta-consciousness, the ability to be conscious about our consciousness is necessary for this reprogramming.
In a sense, yes, absolutely. Vipassana is very much about the observation. The observation of sensation. And I'm going to be taking you through a small little practice very soon on that one. But it's powerful. I went when I was 26 years old. First time I went, I knew I needed help. I wasn't in a good way. It wasn't long after I found my partner hanging from a ceiling. I was in the party days. I was having a lot of fun. I'd been partying for a few days. Knew I needed some help. Got myself to Vipassana. stirred it up. I was listening to Michael Franti riding on the back of God's hand as I'm riding into Vipassana, got myself there.
Here are my keys. Here are
take me, right? And so I got inside and I couldn't understand what was going on. Like, it would get to the point where I'd be sitting there meditating in the middle of the bush, and I'm not saying this is for everybody's experience, but I had what was called a lot of old stock. A lot of old stock, generational, plus this life, yeah? I'd accumulated a bit of baggage. And so it would get to the point where I would just burst into tears, or I'd have this raging anger and I just want to take out a tree with another stick. Like, it was just, oh, what is going on here? I was continually pulled out of the class and taken to the teacher's office to breathe. And I'm like, what is going on? What is going on right now? And the teachers would say to me, old stock, old stock. And now I know how to hold people in that. When someone is releasing old stock, they're like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what's going on. It's just old stock. Emotions are designed to emote. What we have suppressed is going to be expressed. Yeah? And we've got to allow that to move through us. We've got to allow that to move through us. Yeah? Have I folded in okay here? Any other questions?
What you're saying is that in order to clarify our perception and make it closer to what actual reality is, we need to allow our emotions to move through.
100%. Absolutely. And being with what is. Not what could be, not what should be, but consciously responding to what is. Yeah? Yeah, in ownership of our experience. Knowing that our emotions are these non-physical vibrations that create our reality. We are in an emotion assimilation. That is really what we're in, for me. That's what I've come to understand. This is an emotional simulation. They're like pixels of the camera. The heart will beam up into the mirror of life. Our emotions are like magnets. They will attract the experience we need, not necessarily what we want. Link? Do you want Link? You're really hot, yeah. Are you okay? Did that answer your question? I think everyone's starting to get a bit cooked. Me too. Yeah. Did that answer your question, good sir? Yeah? Yeah. So non-physical particles that have a huge impact on physical reality. And we will attract through that torus field the experience we need to wake up. And it could feel like that WTF moment, but I promise you, it's your waking to freedom moment when you know how to translate it. Yeah? So that message sends, have I covered off there for everybody? Anyone got any other questions? Yeah? Sure. I mean, any time to be with your experience, yeah. Vipassana is a fantastic technique for that. One of many. I mean, that was, I used to go every Easter. On every Easter, it was like, for me, it was the death and the rebirth time. And everyone was so different. Every one of those experiences was so different for me. And when we can be with, right? But again, it's understanding that every emotion has an unconscious and conscious aspect to it. Anger in its unconscious form is saying, I feel powerless, under threat, and I need to protect. So we do one of two things. We go into passive-aggressive, I'm fine. And what's been suppressed is going to be expressed, and it's going to come out in rage somewhere at some time, and it's going to come out in a sideways behaviour, right? But when we can understand that anger, and again, I'm jumping ahead here now, anger is very powerful when we can harness it, when we know what to do with it, we can welcome it in. It's asking us to burn off the old cycle, to rise like the phoenix and come home to the heart of the matter to change our frequency. That is the power of anger. And I believe it's one of the many misunderstood emotions. Shame is a call home to worth. And sadness, and again, I'm jumping way ahead right now, but does that answer your yeah? Shame is a call home to worth, yeah? Shame is asking us to reclaim our worth, yeah? And there's a lot of shame, sadness. Like, yeah, the book I'm writing is the Dictionary of Emotions, the language of the soul. So I've got aspects of it. I have a newsletter where I share a lot weekly. If you want to jump on that, Your Next Transformation, I'll give you the link at the end. But yeah, I share a lot. I share weekly stuff on there, and I share a lot about emotions. We good? All right. It's warm, isn't it? It's rather warm. So that when we get that message and we receive it, and as I was saying before, it sends that message out to the body through that central nervous system, yeah? And so whatever is happening, what do we got here? Boop. Yay. I swap sides. So when the message is received, the unmetabolized messages, and we get stuck in this biofeedback loop, right? And this one right here, I don't know if that's going to work. So we get stuck in this biofeedback loop, a negative biofeedback loop. Again, one event, sorry, sweetheart, one event, activating event. We go into the self-defeating belief systems, irrational thoughts, the emotional responses, and boom, and just we keep going around in this biofeedback loop, yeah? And nobody has showed us how to intercept this. When I was in, again, full-blown complex PTSD, and this is why it's my greatest gift, was to understand how to intercept this, to hand this gift back to so many people now. And someone told me about this cognitive behavioural therapist in Brisbane, and I was living on the Gold Coast at the time. Mum had just passed. I was having full-on events. Had mum's dog who could barely walk, hear, see. I don't know, that dog kept me going though, I tell you. Every time I'd wake up, she was next to my bed, she'd look up at me, she's like, girl, you got to get up because you got to get me up. And I'm like, oh, but she kept me going. I swear my mother was working through her for quite a few months to keep me still enough so I wasn't running from myself again, yeah? So myself and the dog jump in the car, go to see this cognitive behavioural therapist. I have a full-blown episode on the highway. I get to his office. I'm just trying to gather myself enough, and he's like, sit me down, got me to take a few deep breaths, have some water. And he looks at me and he's like, Michelle, what I want you to do now is thank the process. I was like, what would I want to do that for? Why would I want to thank a process that has me absolutely living in a waking nightmare right now? It really was. I was living in a waking nightmare. I'd have peripheral flashes. The only place I felt safe was under my bed. And he's like, hear me out. Hear me out. He said, by thanking this process, what you are saying to your amygdala, the amygdala is the central nerve, the mid part of the brain that will flood you with emotion. It will take us out of the critical thinking of the executive cortex of the brain and will put us back into flight and fight based on the snapshot of the programming that has happened, yeah? Because under the age of 7, we received a message, and I will show you how this happens. Long story short, I'll get to that in a minute. I keep jumping ahead now. So the amygdala, he's like, I want you to thank it, because what you are saying to the amygdala is that you are safe. And I went, okay. It was like it was the first time someone had given me the key. I hadn't unlocked the gate, but someone had given me a key to manage my state. I was able to go, all right, okay, so when I'm having one of these episodes, tangible. Right now, there's no saber-toothed tiger chasing me. There's no one who's passed away. I'm under no physical threat, yeah? I'm here, I'm present. So when I'm saying thank you to my amygdala, I'm saying I'm safe. Oh, okay, I'm safe.
Are you asking? So basically you said that when you were resisting, when you were asking why is this happening, what's happening,
Yeah.
you were kind of jacking up even more. Like
Correct.
something's wrong.
Exactly, exactly. And my sensory perception was trying to tell me a blanket was dead. You know, a branch would look like someone was hanging from the branch, or it could be anything. A girlfriend of mine could come stay with me out on the land and they'd have a nap and I'm like, I can't go check on them because I'm scared, so, you know, irrational. It was the one event, my amygdala was trying to keep me protected to the point I couldn't even get out the door at one stage, yeah? I couldn't even get out the door because my whole central nervous system was doing exactly what it was supposed to do, and that was protect me. It's like, if I let you out that door, you're going to get rolled in business, you're going to end up in a toxic relationship, I've got to keep her home. I've got to keep her under the doona. But I had to intercept that biofeedback loop to tell myself I was safe, to take back control of my experience, yeah? To take back control of my experience. And when we understand how to do this, we move out of the management state And this is what I see so many beautiful people stuck in, is managing their state. And for a long time, I was managing my state. At any given time, I could be pulled back into that undercurrent of emotion, the ocean of emotion, I like to call it, yeah? There's some beautiful teachings, including Buddhist teachings, that show us, now science is showing us this too, that we can be through a triggered state in 90 seconds. From beginning of sensory trigger to intercepting that biofeedback, done. Done. We don't have to be stuck in these loops. We've just got to know how to intercept them, to take control of our experience into self-regulation, to letting every part of you know that you are safe, to staying expanded in the face of contraction. Yeah? In the driver's seat, this beautiful temple through which we experience life, the human form. We are here to master it, not be enslaved to it. Not to be enslaved to it. And when we understand how to intercept it, to be through, we're no longer in that management state that takes so much energy, takes so much emotion, so much power to be in that state, and we wonder why we've got burnout at an all-time high right now.
Can you explain staying expanded in the face of contraction?
Sure.
Just to give you the context of where I'm asking, because I see expanding and contracting as like natural state, like to expand,
Absolutely, contract.
expand and contract.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Great question. Love that. So when we are anchored, yeah, and we have a challenge coming in that is a contracted state, that is a contrast to our expanded state. When we can stay expanded because we are consciously responding to what is, without any story of what could be, what should be, what maybe, whatever our programming is telling us, we stay in the power of presence to the challenge of contraction to bring it into expansion, because we are expanded, we are empowered, we understand the principles. When we understand the universal laws and the principles, we no longer take it personally. Does that answer your question? We alchemize that experience. So the contraction and the expansion, we bring in and we expand it to move through again to the next universal dimension, and again, and we keep going towards.
Basically, we use the contraction in order to expand further. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Resonate? Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Is that a hand up? No? No? Okay. All right. Any other questions? Boom. So we got the biofeedback loop. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. New clicker. It's all about perception. Life is all about the power of our perception, and when we understand how we see things, it's so powerful. Are you guys up for a little bit of an internal observation? Yeah? A bit of an internal, want to do a bit of an exercise, a bit of a process? Yeah? All right. All right. So I'm going to invite you to get comfy, staying upright, or for those that are laying downstairs, just don't, if I come and nudge you, you've fallen asleep. All right. So I'm going to invite you now to close your beautiful eyes down. Yeah. And just starting to bring the intention to the tip of the nose. Bringing your intention to the tip of the nose. When the monkey mind tries to activate, going from branch to branch, thought to thought, just gently acknowledge it. And let's bring the intention back to the tip of the nose. Let's receive the breath on the inhalation, taking a full and complete breath all the way in, filling the lungs all the way down into the bottom chamber, creating expansion in body and mind, receiving life on the exhalation, receiving life on the inhalation, giving life on the exhalation. A full and complete cycle of giving and receiving. We cannot give what we do not receive. It is unsustainable. So let's bring the breath in for 4, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. We can live without food, we can live without water for so long. The breath, we have 3 minutes before we exit this physical form. It is our connection to life itself. So let's have a play with the intention now. Let's take the intention over to your right elbow. Let's take your intention down to your left knee. What's moving your intention right now is your soul. This is you powerful and present and operating this beautiful vehicle through which you reside, your human form. So I'm going to invite you now to bring your intention to your heart space, the epicenter of your world. I'm going to invite you now to observe your heart. What is the experience of your heart right now? Open, closed, heavy, light, hollow, full. No wrong, no right, just being with what is. Hey heart, how you doing? Thanks for the gift of life. Just being with whatever experience that your heart is with right now. My invitation now is I'm going to leave you for 30 seconds just to observe your internal world. Beautiful. Just taking a recalibrating breath as you stay connected to your internal world. I'm going to invite you to recall the most recent memory that really triggered you, or even in association to that reoccurring life cycle, pattern, behavior, and emotion that we set the intention for at the beginning of our time together. Recall the most recent memory around that trigger, that cycle. And I'm going to invite you to observe the sensation in your body. The sensation that is associated to that memory. We need to feel to heal. Being with this part, being with this memory. Where is the sensation, the color, the shape, the size, the texture? I'm going to invite you now to thank that memory. Take a recalibrating deep breath in. And now I'm going to invite you to recall a memory that really brought joy, that brought a smile to your face recently. External noise is a part of our practice of staying present. Something that brought joy to you recently, memory that brought joy. And again, observing that sensation in your body. Where is that sensation? Color, shape, size, texture. And again, I'm just going to invite you to take a recalibrating breath as we return to the room together here today, wiggling your fingers and your toes and breathing your eyes open. The power of sensation. Is anyone willing to share their experience? I know there was external noise and sometimes it can be distracting. A gift to keep us present. Observation, 30 seconds of your internal world. Just observing your internal world. How did that go for you?
Much easier to think of the trigger experience. Much easier to think of the trigger experience, the negative experience, than the positive.
Right. Powerful observation. Powerful. And so when you found the negative experience, what was that for you?
switching back and forth between the sort of attempting to get the physical experience of like what I was doing, where I was, what I was doing, versus like switching back to the state of mind and what I was thinking at the time. Between those.
And what the sensation in your body when you thought of the triggered state, where was that? In the gut? Colour, shape, size, texture. How did it feel to be with that part of you?
Not particularly pleasant.
Yeah, powerful. Thank you.
I think I had kind of an insight around close to what you shared about how easy it is to think of something that's more negative because I'm thinking about something that I'm processing right now. But joy, in my mind, is more like momentous occasion. Like I remembered, oh yeah, I was hanging out with some friends and I felt joy. But because I'm not processing the joy, right, I'm processing something more challenging, then I'm still feeling it and it's still here for a longer time or right now, as opposed to joy, which is like, was a moment, yesterday.
Yeah, beautiful, powerful. Thank you. Anyone else want to, yeah?
So the trigger for the pain and then the trigger for the joy turned out to be the same thing. Which
Yeah,
is
wow.
very confusing.
Yeah, incredible, powerful. And sometimes joy is not safe for us because last time, and I'll show you why in a minute, last time you probably went towards joy or when you received that message under the age of 7, which I'll clarify soon, joy ended up letting you down somehow. It's like, whoa, that ain't safe. So we go back to the safety of the known experience of pain, which is 80% of the human experience. And as you've beautifully shared, just a few of us, we're holding this memory in our body. But these memories are not past or future, they're now. This is the power of the now. Eckhart Tolle's work, right? The power of the now. Our subconscious can only show us sensation and memory through visual. But we're not children anymore. We're not 14 generations back. We are the transitional characters that have turned up here to master our human experience, to set not only ourselves free, to become the ripple effect of the healing of this planet. There's no mistake that we're all here on this planet right now. That's what we're here for. But we need to learn how to empower these uncomfortable feelings as the activator of potential and freedom for all. Thank you for sharing. How to unlock these reoccurring cycles, the how. There's so many people come to me and go, I get it, Mish. I get it. 1 and 1 make 2, but how? How do I do this? How am I still here? Right? We have what was called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are very, very powerful. This is how we read human behavior. This is how we read each other. This is what's happening with us all in the room right now. But these mirror neurons, we literally mimic each other's behaviors. And again, under the age of 7, we had a fundamental experience where we received a message, from our caretakers, primarily our parents, depending on what situation you grew up in, guardians. But we received a fundamental message that said to us, I'm not enough. I mean, I call it the not enough pandemic, really, of humanity. Whatever that drills down to, my words don't matter. I'm unlovable. It depends on your experience and that message. The message I received was I'm alone in this world. No one's coming. I got to do this on my own. So I spent a lot of my years protecting myself. And in that protection, I was calling in the very thing I believed I didn't want, which is everything I've been sharing, because it wanted to crack me open until I learned how to translate it. So these mirror neurons are extremely, extremely powerful. And this is how we create trauma bonds. Trauma bonds are very, very powerful. My husband and I have spent a lot of time unlocking the trauma bond that we called each other in through. It was painful. It was really goddamn painful because our protection mechanisms wanted to play out all the old stories to say, see, I'm not safe with you. See, you don't love me. See, and it wanted to validate the old story.
Definition of trauma bond? My understanding was it was based on intermittent reinforcement. Intermittent reinforcement, so relations that were based on positive and then negative sort of thing. So they would like basically like an addictive cycle. But
Exactly.
It sounds like you're talking about something a little bit.
Yeah. Well, negative reinforcement that we recognize as children is how we learn to unconditionally recognize love, right? So again, 95% of us don't have the programming of the words "I love you," self-love. But we recognize if I overcompensate and I look after you, mummy, because you're really upset, you're going to love me, I get attention. Daddy, if you yell and scream and I give you a hug, you love me, right? And I learned to be the rescuer with my family. I can say this and I'm integrated, and I hope this doesn't sound too crass or whatever the word is, but it didn't work because my whole family's dead. My brother's dead, my mum's dead, right? Yeah? I learned to be the rescuer, and that's how I learned to receive love. And if I turned up to rescue someone and you didn't want my help, I experienced it as rejection. I don't understand. You don't want my help? You don't love me? Because that's how I recognize love. And we all have these unconditional recognitions of how we receive through negative reinforcement, which is the trauma bond. Yeah, boom. And this is the big thing I'm doing in my newsletter right now is emotional needs, understanding the power of our emotional needs, unmet needs, yeah? It's very powerful, very, very powerful. Does that support you? Yeah. So these mirror neurons is empathy. This is the ultimate act of empathy, which is my new launch that's coming out soon, Lead with Empathy. It's emotion intelligent living and success. But this is when we understand these powerful mirror neurons and how, again, we are perceiving and receiving this message. It depends on whether we become unconscious empaths or conscious empaths, yeah? The unconscious empath will feel everything, be hypersensitive, be hypervigilant of their external reality, be so overwhelmed and consumed, yeah? It's just all too much, I'm feeling too much, I need to withdraw. For years, that was my story, years and years. Because I was in hypervigilance. If my external world was safe, if I was looking after everything and everyone else, I was safe. I had to reverse polarize that. I had to come back to my internal reality, become a conscious empath to feel what I was feeling, to be able to differentiate what you were feeling, to be able to actually show up and sustain my life. Yeah? This is the power of our mirror neurons. I'm just getting mindful of time. Is everyone okay? Yep. Yeah? All right, cool. So the neurobiology of rejection, yeah? The same part of our brain lights up as when we experience physical pain. The pain receptor sites, yeah? We would literally prefer to experience physical pain over emotional pain. Literally. We will relive vividly emotional pain. The fear of rejection is what defaults us. It's one of the most primordial energies and emotions that we have. When we understand, because what happens with rejection, it goes back to our hunter and gatherer days. If we were ostracized from our tribe, it was akin to a death sentence. It was literally akin to a death sentence. So we go through an adaptation of our behavior to fit in and belong. And so we wonder why something's missing. We wonder why we feel like a square peg in a round hole. We wonder why we don't find our tribe. Because we're adapting continually to fit in, to survive. When we are able to understand the power of rejection is a call home to the connection of our truth, for us to serve our truth, to be with that truth, to fully activate that truth, we are serving the highest truth of all. Your truth and my truth may be two different truths, and that's okay. But when we honour that deepest connection to ourselves, we come home to the power of our truth, self-love and self-honour. From that place, we have so much more to give. We come from overflow, no longer overwhelm. And this is a diagram that really dropped in one night. I just had this clear visual. And so if we look here, I think you might be able to see can you see it? No, you can't see. Ooh, no, not working. So the messenger, right? We hear a lot about the alter ego. We hear about how bad the alter ego is, how wrong it is. The alter ego was created at a time that we did not feel seen, heard, loved, or safe. So when we are able to understand that beautiful alter ego was that message we received, and in that time that we made a fundamental decision about our life, where we created this identity. I like to call them the messenger, yeah? Like they're running 80% of our show. And what happens is we try to continually get up, we do our work, we get aware that we've got these limiting beliefs, and we sort of start working our way up this ladder. I'm sorry that I'm in the way here, let me try that. Start working our way up this ladder, we get a trigger, booyah, full amplification, and it pulls us back down into the default programming and the behaviour, and we're back in that cycle, right? We're back in that cycle. And so when we understand, every time we try to walk up that conscious timeline, that old story kicks in. Sometimes we're not even aware of it. We're not even aware of it, even though we're aware of it. It's quite bizarre as humans. It's that meta-consciousness thing. So as we walk up this timeline towards what I like to call the gateway of transformation, when we have the tools and we come to that intersection where our unconscious and conscious timelines meet, we have a transformation. Yeah? We have a full transformation. We go through that gateway and we empower the unknown. The unknown is the adventure playground of life where everything we want is waiting for us. We've just got to go towards it. But last time we went towards joy in that unknown playground, that backfired on me. That fucking hurt. That really hurt. Yeah? Last time I went towards getting what I wanted, I was rejected. I got really hurt. So we come back to the safety of the known pain and we keep looping until we learn how to translate, transition and transform to unlock these cycles through our emotional intelligence, to change the story, to have the power of choice. We are the only sentient being with the power of choice. We are the only sentient being on this planet that was given this gift. But I cannot begin to tell you how much 90% of people don't know that they have it. They don't know they have this choice to step into their consciousness, to take the power of their life. Yep. Yep. Is everyone okay for time? I'm getting the time clock. You guys good? We're nearly done. Link, you okay? Do you need to finish? Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go. So here are the 4 stages of the trauma bond. Destabilization, anger, insight, conscious choice, right? So when we come out of a trauma bond, we're going to destabilize. We're going to feel like we're in this free fall, like the whole world is coming out from underneath us, yeah? And then it's anger. It's like, where have I been? What have I been doing? Like, how has this happened to me? How have I been gaslit? How has all this been happening? We then come into the insight, the aha moment. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. Then we come into the power of conscious choice. That is when you make your decision. That if my husband and I had made this choice, the choice of the destabilization, we would have gone out there and recreated the whole cycle again with someone else. And we would have just kept that pattern going. But then with anger, there's a lot of anger, but we know how to harness it because it's wanting us to rise like the phoenix. To then come into the inside, oh, the story's starting to change, my perception is starting to change. To then come into the power of conscious choice that serves your highest good, therefore the highest good of all. What I've come to know is the trilogy of transformation: cognitive, neural, energetic. The cognitive lens of perception, the lens through which we see ourselves and the world around us. Nervous system, the hard drive, the data storage, conditioning from the cognitive perception. Energy, the way our emotions and energetic intelligence activates the world. When these 3 come into alignment, we transform. This is why we cannot compartmentalize therapy anymore. We cannot have one thing or the other. It's an integration of all. And this is what I've been doing for the last 25 years to create this process. It's what I used to call it the Soul's Apprenticeship. It is now the Success Method, SA, because it was very hard to take the Soul's Apprenticeship to corporate. So this is the 5 elements. Every organ in your body houses a certain emotion that is non-physical, that has a huge impact on physical reality. Manifestation, everything I've been talking about today. The 5-element theory, as you can see, houses certain emotions in their contracted or expanded form. And as you can also see, they all converge into the heart space, which beams up into the mirror of life, into that quantum field, to create a life by design or default. Yeah? The first element, phase 1, is from earth everything is birth, confusion to clarity. This is where we get into the intergenerational cycles, we get to the causative issue, we unlock and we bring you to the present moment to shift that power of observation from unconscious to conscious, an expansion lens. The metal element is lung reptilian brain, the emotions from sadness, worry, grief, pensiveness, what is, what could be, what should be, into deep acceptance. This is where we meet your messenger. This is where we unlock your alter ego. We bring them out of the shadows, into the light, to upgrade your central nervous system, to fully come in to releasing the neuroadrenaline, all those unmetabolized emotions and feelings. To then come into the kidney energy, the kidney water element. Water doesn't push shit uphill, right? So if we're no longer dumping neuroadrenaline, cortisol, and we're in flight, fight, and freeze and overcompensatory behaviors because the messenger is no longer running 80% of your show, we can move out of fear and into free will. We plug you into the grid of your soul to know your true value, to know your North Star, your Earth Star, and your actual mission of why you are here. Why these cycles have been appearing in your life to have you turn up and set you free. To then come into the alignment, which is the wood energy, liver energy. The eyes are the windows to the soul. In Chinese medicine, the eyes are the orifice to the liver. the dreaming, the visioning, the dream that you've come here that can feel so close yet so far away. The all-seeing. But what happens is these two elements, yin and yang, the yin aspect of the soul and the yang aspect of the soul, polarize. That polarity that I've been talking about. So that the contracted emotion of the liver can be anything from irritation, frustration, irritability, anger, full-blown rage. Yeah? And I've explained anger to you today already. Powerless or empowerment. To bring us into the alignment, for us to come into the full embodiment, for us to then unify, to come home to the heart of the matter, to fully show up, to create the life that we're here to create. Yeah? The 5-element theory. And this is what I've spent 25 years superimposing in that trilogy of transformation into this 5-element, and this is my signature process. This is exactly what I've been teaching people for 25 years. Yeah. So the reality of your life, your experience, is an emotional simulation you are either consciously or unconsciously creating. That's it, bottom line. Yeah? Your body is a power generator. Your emotions are vibrational emitters. Your heart is the frequency converter. Yeah? When we get that, when we have the tools, we have the insight, we master this human experience. We didn't come with a manual on how to do human, right? I looked for that manual all over this planet, I promise you. Yeah. Well, I created it because I couldn't find it. I found bits and pieces in different places. I would get insight and understanding, but I didn't get the full transformation. I would get insight from my pain and confusion, but I didn't get the freedom. I didn't get the full transformation. Here it is. So what we're here to do is to bring the head and the heart into sync. Right now, our head and our heart, that meta-programming is pulling us one way, the heart's trying to pull us another way, and we're like, ah, yeah? When we bring them into sync, what we are starting to do now is we're starting to hit a new level of human consciousness, gamma brain waves, yeah? Where we have intuition on demand, healing, unity consciousness, and much, much more. Spontaneous healing, it's just we're empowered. Our meta consciousness and our alignment is working in unity from the internal world, yeah? This is what we are here to activate, beautiful people. And every time you have a negative experience, this is what you're being called home to, your superpower. The power of love. Yeah. To shift that frequency, to shift your vision, to become the ripple effect, tipping this critical mass into awakening. That is why you're on this planet right now. That is why you have these reoccurring life cycles. And that is why we're being asked to empower our lives right now. It's why we're here, to unify, become one, and wake this planet up to the power of love. Individuals trained to embody the deep love and appreciation were intentionally able to change the shape of their DNA in their bodies. Human emotion produces effects which defy conventional law of physics. Boom. You are super powerful. I see you. I love you. Thank you for having me. I'm super mindful. I think I've got something else on. I mean, can we do a quick recap or are we out? What? No? I'm getting that's a no? Yeah? What do you guys want to do? Do you want to come and have a chat with me, or have you found this valuable? Have you got anything takeaways today? Yeah? Want to share with me a quick one? Quick 2 or 3? What's the takeaway? There's a lot. It's a lot of information. Who's ready? Did someone else? I saw a few hands come up. You got some takeaways? When we can bring it to the word, it means we've cognitized it. So it's a very powerful process to be able to really articulate something that you've taken away from a session anywhere, in any form. Yeah. So it just means that it's got from the subconscious feeling state to the critical mind, and we've got head and heart online. Yeah. Anyone willing? Yeah. Right. Boom. Love that. Yeah. It's a great management tool. Just gets us out of the gate. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else? Takeaways?
I think everyone knows, like, they say it's kind of conflicting of saying, like, listen to your head and your heart, but, like, to find that the vibrations are the same. I didn't really know, do you know what I mean? That your vibration from your heart is the same as from your soul and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Beautiful.
vibrations and what they can admit to.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. The power of emotion, right? Beautiful. One more. One more. Whoop. These are all tests. I mean, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people, so who's got one more for me? So if you guys want to just connect, you're more than welcome to jump on QR code there for a 30-minute free alignment session with me, and we can sort of really tap into what it is that you've taken away today, and I'd love to connect and we can have a chat. We can have a chat. Yeah, so that's a 30-minute free alignment session. If you want to come have a chat with me afterwards, more than welcome. Hey? Quality Question, Quality Life, which you'll find on my website, michellecannon.com. Yeah. And /transform is the newsletter where you'll get all the information. But it's all on my website, michellecannon, CANNAN.com. Yeah? Lots of free resources on there. In fact, this whole Emotional Intelligence Masterclass is on there. You can watch it again. So you can watch it again. Yeah. Because my intention is to empower you, to set you free. Let's tip this critical mass, beautiful people, and set this planet free. Thank you.
What are you doing on Saturday? I heard something is happening.
Oh, I heard something's happening at Socrates, isn't it? We're going to be... Huh? What is it about, Stefan? You don't know, huh? We're going to be exploring some pretty deep philosophical questions. One being, who are we and what are we doing here? Yeah? So Socrates is Stefan's event on Saturday at...
Noon, Hideaway Cafe.
noon at where?
Hideaway.
Hideaway. So if you want to come play, I'd love to see you there.
We're not gonna hide from this.
We're not hiding. No hiding. No hiding. Yeah. 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 So I'm sensing these guys need the space back. So if you want to come have a chat with me, love to connect. If not, jump on, book yourself a free 30-minute session and let's connect, hey? It's all about the connection. It's all about the connection. Oh, thank you. It's been amazing. Amazing.
Michelle, you mentioned one book, but I didn't write it. You mentioned at the beginning one book.
One book at the beginning.
Not Chopra's book, another one.
Greg Braden,
Yeah.
Pure Human.
Pure Human.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant
Thank you.
book. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, lovely to meet you. Thank you for your engagement.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I really appreciated the energy that you bring. You seem to care a lot about humans, and you have a mission. So it's beautiful.
I do. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah, of course. And you seem to have a lot of knowledge and information.
Yeah. Especially about a crowd that wants to engage. I can go engage.
Yeah. It was great. I think the only thing was that it was, for me, a little too much information.
Yeah, I don't normally, I would dumb it down, but there was a lot of people who are hungry. So, yeah, I hear you.
No, it wasn't about dumbing down. I feel like just there was you have obviously a lot of frameworks and a lot of things, and it was like, for me, it was new information. So also just the 5 elements, and then the 3 this, and then the 5. So
I appreciate
See you on
that.
Saturday, okay?
Okay, my darling.
See you.
I appreciate it. Take care. Thanks, Stefan. I hear. And thank you for the feedback.
Of course. I love what you're doing, and I want you to succeed even more. So
thank you. No, I appreciate
for doing
that.
it.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Okay.
Take care. I love your shirt too.
Thank you.
Just kept grabbing me.
Grab me too.
I love that. What are you up to now?
I have a question. Yeah.
Enjoy.
I'll see you. Are you living here in Chiang Mai? Or?
Off and on. Yes, I've just been here a couple of months. So yeah, just playing it all by ear right now. Playing it all by ear.
Cool.
Yeah. From DTV. So yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So just follow the breadcrumbs right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about that, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. I'll see you. I'm sure.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. Take care.
Hey.
What's your name?
Voila.
I've seen your face, definitely. You have to talk to me. Really?
Oh, thank you. I loved your presents. Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm doing, yeah, I was doing
Thanks, Link.
To be honest, I feel I can get into this topic, but because of language barrier, I cannot understand too much.
Sure.
So, this one of our friend developing a system to translate through the
fantastic.
microphone. I hope, like in the Wednesday night, we can try to use in at least one language to another.
That'd be amazing.
In time,
That'd
yes.
be amazing.
Yeah.
Will you send me a copy of
Yes.
two keys?
The way